Hello everyone, welcome to A Clear Perspective. I'm Serene. Today is my first show this year. There are some important updates in the US election. President Trump's unusual moves have attracted public attention since New Year's Eve. He abruptly canceled his vacation and missed the originally planned New Year's Eve party at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. President Trump and First Lady Melania returned to the White House on Thursday, a day ahead of schedule. The White House didn't give any explanations for the sudden change. Some media coverage suggested that it might be related to the disputes over the defense bill and relief bill or related to the election battle. On social media, the speculations ran wild, such as to prevent an assassination from Iran. I think this is unlikely. Iran is now attacked by Israel, and they hardly have enough power to fight back. They would not have the capabilities to organize an assassination. Even if they did, their first target would be Israel, rather than a man who is supposedly about to leave the White House. So a more reasonable explanation for President Trump's sudden return to the White House would be the occurrence of an unexpected event, one that has to be handled in person at White House. What could it be? We don't know, but we can find some indirect hints which came from Dan Scavino, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Communications and Director of Social Media. Recently, he kept releasing information that looked like riddles. This makes me feel that some of his work may be secretive or may even be part of a hidden strategy from Trump's team. The red line riddles that he tweeted a few days ago have already caught public attention. On January 1st, he posted a photo on Facebook. The photo appears to be taken at the Oval Office, and it had 3 people in it: President Trump, Vice President Pence, and Scavino himself. The most noticeable part is the text, quote, "Sir, game on." At the bottom, 2 other eye-catching elements were Vice President Pence and the fact that it was black and white. Recently, Vice President Pence has been at the center of controversies, but I think he is just doing what he can in a rational manner. For example, on January 2nd, Pence released a statement while his chief of staff. It said, "Vice President Pence shares the concerns of millions of Americans about voter fraud and irregularities in the last election. The Vice President welcomes the efforts of members of the House and the Senate to use the authority they have under the law to raise objections and bring forward evidence before the Congress and the American people on January 6. The statement has clearly shown Pence's stance on election battles. Going back to the photo, why is the photo in black and white? Some viewers might remember in late November when a large number of leftist politicians and celebrities changed their social media avatars to black and white in a seemingly coordinated manner. It happened after lawyer Sidney Powell had confirmed the existence of the servers in Frankfurt, so it may have been done to signal collective actions. I think that the black and white photo with the caption, "Sir, game on," could be a signal that President Trump has taken some sort of action. Scavino also posted another photo on the 2nd in which there was a piece of paper in Trump's hand that read, "Game on." It seems to have been photoshopped on, but the message is clear. Anyway, the big day of January 6th is coming up. We have seen some action being taken already. Senators Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz announced that they would challenge the electoral vote on the 6th. On December 30th, 2020, Senator Josh Hawley announced that he would object to the election results on January 6th. On January 2nd, Senator Ted Cruz and 10 other senators released a joint statement announcing that they will also be objecting to the election results. Obviously, this was a planned action led by Ted Cruz, and President Trump most likely knew about it in advance. The key to Ted Cruz's proposal is that they avoided congressional discussion and voting Instead, they suggested that they follow the example of 1877, establishing a special electoral commission. In the joint statement, it says, "The most direct precedent on this question arose in 1877, following serious allegations of fraud and illegal conduct in the Hayes versus Tilden presidential race. Congress appointed an electoral commission consisting of 5 senators, 5 House members, and 5 Supreme Court justices to consider and resolve the disputed returns." To be fair, there were 7 Republicans and 7 Democrats, and 1 was an independent. In the end, the independent Justice Bradley cast the crucial vote for the Republican presidential candidate Hayes. From this case, we can see that the most important element of Ted Cruz's proposal is to establish a special electoral commission, and then the states in dispute should, if necessary, call a special legislative session to certify the change in their votes. Congress should immediately appoint an electoral commission with full investigatory and fact-finding authority to conduct an emergency 10-day audit of the election returns in the disputed states. Once completed, individual states would evaluate the Commission's findings and could convene a special legislative session to certify a change in their vote if needed. This is the essence of Ted Cruz's proposal. As we all know, if we follow the case of 1877, the electoral votes of the disputed states are ultimately decided by a 15-member committee, and the most crucial votes are still in the hands of the Supreme Court justices. However, President Trump's previous lawsuits in the Supreme Court and the exposure of Chief Justice Roberts' private courts have made it very clear that the Supreme Court has long lost its neutral and impartial stance. So Cruz's proposal is arguably the most logical, as it falls back to the constitutional requirement that the state legislatures ultimately decide the electoral votes. Of course, 5 of the 6 states have Republican majorities in their legislatures. Thus, the projected outcome is very optimistic for President Trump. However, the prerequisite is that Cruz's proposal will be accepted by Congress. Recently, we have seen that Peter Navarro said on Fox News that Vice President Pence has the authority to give a 10-day window for auditing election results. Even the January 20th inauguration can be postponed. Navarro's statement seems to fit together with Cruz's proposal, but objectively speaking, we don't see any legal basis for the postponing of the inauguration date, neither from the Constitution nor from the Electoral Counting Act, unless President Trump triggers the Insurrection Act or martial law. So whether Cruz's proposal will be accepted by Congress is one of the most crucial points to watch on January 6. This proposal is obviously different from the procedure defined in the Constitution, that of debating and voting after a challenge from representatives. We have seen that President Trump has repeatedly urged the Americans to gather in Washington, D.C. on January 6. And on January 1st, he tweeted, "Massive amounts of evidence will be presented on the 6th. On January 1st, Trump's advisor, Jason Miller, said to Newsmax that the President team will present evidence on January 6th, and it will differ from what has been presented to courts. The undisclosed evidence is very likely obtained through Sidney Powell's projects and a raid on the server farm in Frankfurt. This will be the biggest variable on January 6th. Currently, we are unable to predict the strength and broadness of the evidence that President Trump will present. Will Congress proceed with the original plan to debate and vote, or will it take up Senator Cruz's proposal under these special circumstances?" Another thing worth noting is that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo made 30 tweets on New Year's Day, reminding people of America's founding principles and to roughly summarize what he experienced throughout his term. Among the tweets, 5 of them caught people's attention. All of the 5 tweets say, "Big challenges, great team, securing Americans' freedom." And all of them come with group photos containing Secretary Pompeo. What makes them interesting is that one picture was of him with former Attorney General William Barr and another with CIA Director Gina Haspel. William Barr is a rather complicated figure. He lauds President Trump's achievements, but he denies the existence of voter fraud. We all know that the CIA has been deeply infiltrated by the deep state. After the Frankfurt servers were intercepted by the U.S. military, it was rumored that Gina Haspel was at the scene and had died or had been arrested. From Pompeo's tweets, however, we can assume that she is still alive. In the photo, the director of the CIA was standing next to the president, smiling. It doesn't seem quite like how you would depict a traitor who was deeply involved in the leftist plot against America. What about Epstein? As Linwood said, he is still alive. I say this would be plausible to President Trump, as Trump could then collect evidence from Haspel and Epstein. So, if both of them appear on January 6 in Congress, along with other witnesses or physical evidence, I wonder how many people will continue to insist on certifying Joe Biden as the winner. Thank you for watching. That's all for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.